Well, good afternoon, gang. Today's episode is all about a film stock that I've actually never shot with before on the channel. It's one that's been recommended to me by many photographers on the internet, and one that I've only recently been able to pick up here in the film shops in the UK. Of course, I'm talking about Lomo 400. So I've never shot Lomo 400 before, but actually in 2021, when Sonia and I had just given life to our tiny human, we took her to Kloof for our very first family vacation. And on that vacation, I put a couple of rolls of Lomo 800 through my Mamiya, and I was decently surprised with the results. I actually haven't been able to find Lomo in any of the film shops that I've been to up until now. So it's an incredibly elusive film stock, and I think for a very good reason. The first reason is that for a color negative film, it's actually pretty cheap compared to Kodak nowadays. And the second reason is that it's actually pretty damn good. Many photographers on the internet use lomography over stuff like Kodak for the color reproduction. If you're shooting portrait or even Kodak Gold, you're going to have to edit those images if you want the colors to pop, or if you want the blacks to be super crushed and nice and contrasty in the images that you're making. The reason that the contrast is so banging on something like Lomo is because it's quite obvious that it doesn't have the dynamic range of something like portrait or Kodak Gold. So with all of this in mind, and to get myself comfortable with Lomo 400 before I go out into the big bad world and shoot the shit with this film stock, I decided to give myself a challenge. One roll of Lomo 400, one day, 10 shots, and a confined space of 10 meters by 10 meters. And this is what I did with it. At that point, the sun had gone down, and it was my turn to wait a little bit to make my last images of this amazing film stock at nighttime. So at this point I was pretty chuffed with my results from Lomo 400. I must say, I am increasingly falling in love with the colors from this film stock, and the contrast is just right. I was shooting this whole roll at 400, so I wasn't over or underexposing. I was shooting it bang on where it ought to be exposed, and I was pleasantly surprised. This shot of my tiny human is probably one of my favorite images I've ever made of this child. She is absolutely beautiful. So is this film stock, so is the light. I just love this shot. Bellissima. I know what you're thinking. This image of the hosepipe in the corner with the light is weird. And I agree with you. It's something that I normally wouldn't shoot at all, but I'm trying new things all the time. And I want to start getting good at taking photographs in a variety of different lighting setups and of a variety of different subjects. So I forced myself to take this photograph and try to expose it well, and I was pretty happy with how it came out at the end. This is by no means a thorough and accurate review of Lomo 400. This is my first roll with this film stock, and I'm pleasantly surprised. I was also really surprised with how Lomo 400 handled the nighttime scenes. It kind of blew me away how true to life some of the colors were in those scenes, despite the varying light conditions in the shot itself. It's definitely a stock that I'm going to go out and do some more nighttime photography with. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Lomo 400, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Matane.